Good morning, everyone. My name is Dikatso Motai. I am the Marketing and Communications Manager at the National Empowerment Fund, and it's my pleasure to welcome you today to the NEF Rand Water Foundation Partnership Webinar. Thank you to everyone who has joined us this morning, especially the many young entrepreneurs, artisans, and future business owners who are tuning in. Today's webinar is about introducing an important partnership between the National Empowerment Fund and the Rand Water Foundation, and more importantly, about highlighting the opportunities it creates for young South Africans in the water and sanitation sector. The water sector is not only about infrastructure and service delivery, it is also about enterprise development, innovation, and job creation. And through this partnership, the NEF and the Rand Water Foundation aims to strengthen the participation of Black-owned, youth-owned, women-owned, and disability-owned, or people with disability, who own businesses within the water and sanitation value chain. So if you're an entrepreneur, an artisan working in plumbing or infrastructure, someone interested in starting a business in the water sector, or someone looking to grow an existing enterprise, then this session is definitely for you. I'd also like to emphasize that today's webinar is an information session. It is the beginning of the journey where we introduce the partnership, explain the opportunities, and share the support available. There will be more programs and engagements coming as this partnership develops, so we encourage you to stay engaged. So what can you expect today? Over the next 2 hours, we will hear from Rand Water on sector priorities and supplier opportunities. You will learn about non-financial support available to entrepreneurs through the NEF. You will understand the NEF's funding and enterprise and supplier development programs, and have an opportunity to engage through questions and answers. So just a few housekeeping points. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat. We will also have a question and answer session later in the program. So let us now move into the program. To begin our program, we will hear directly from Rand Water, whose work is central to South Africa's water and water infrastructure and supply. Rand Water plays a critical role in providing bulk portable water to municipalities, industries, and mines across several provinces. And the organization is also committed to strengthening enterprise development and economic participation within the water value chain. So through the Rand Water Foundation, there is a strong focus on supporting youth entrepreneurship, skills development, and community development initiatives. And to take us through Rand Water's strategic perspective, sector priorities, and supplier readiness opportunities, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Pule Pitikwe, who is the Community Education Officer at the Rand Water Foundation. Mr. Pitikwe, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dikatso, for that introduction. And, you know, from us as Rand Water Foundation, we are very excited to be part of this partnership with the National Empowerment Fund. And we are also very passionate about the work that we do, you know, within the Rand Water Foundation in terms of community development as well. I will go straight to our presentation from Rand Water Foundation, and I'll also maybe give you an idea of what are the activities that we are doing within the foundation itself. So if ever there are any questions, like Dikatso has already mentioned, please pose your questions on the Q&A, and then we'll probably maybe give you all the support and the answers that you know you have posed on that chat. All right. Maybe let me get my presentation in order. Basically, what we'll do here, we'll tell you a little bit about where the foundation comes from. And then from there, then we will tell you a little bit also about what is it that we are aligning with. And then from there, then we'll show you a couple of pictures within the projects that we are running, within Rainwater Foundation. So that is the overview of what we're going to present to you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the Rainwater Foundation was established in 2001. And obviously, this is a corporate social investment vehicle of the Rainwater itself as a company. And we are a non-profit organization, non-profit organization part within the company itself. So we started our operations in 2003, and we were launched in 2004. And obviously, this is a well-registered company. It is a public benefit organization, within the company itself. And up until this year, we are 22 years in operation. And these are the developmental guidelines that we are aligning to. The first one, obviously, is the broader CSI imperatives. We have the Sustainable Development Goals, the National Development Plan, the medium-term strategic framework, and we also aligned to the strategy of the group, which is the innovation-driven risk-based strategy. And we also work with municipalities as well. And these are corporate social investment imperatives. The first one, obviously, is very important. Rainwater is a company that provides bulk water to our communities, and we are definitely aligning ourselves in terms of the water supply, within our communities as well. We're also dealing with poverty eradication, education, health, and social entrepreneurship. And I think that one of entrepreneurship is one of the things that we are going to address today. The economic imperatives, obviously, we are creating jobs, for the activities where we are engaged in. We are also dealing with business development, business imperatives. We obviously look at how we'll develop you as an enterprise, or as an entrepreneur, obviously working with us. We're also aligning ourselves with global imperatives as well. I mean, we are not alone as South Africa, as Rainwater. The Sustainable Development Goals are the goals that are well known, globally, amongst our activities. And these are the Sustainable Development Goals that we align ourselves with. The first one, obviously, is poverty eradication. The second one, goal number 6, which is quite important to us, is the issue of sustainable water and sanitation. And we're also doing economic development, socio-economic development. Goal number 15, environmental conservation. Goal number 17, and also sustainable partnerships as well. In terms of partnerships, I think we're working quite well. We have started off quite well with the National Empowerment Fund, and we're also obviously working with other partners, within the activities that we operate. And these are the legislative and regulatory frameworks that we align ourselves with. It's quite important that we should obviously be compliant with a couple of regulatory frameworks in our country. And the first one, I know that a lot of people will talk about Public Financial Management Act. We're dealing with public funds, and obviously we have to align with those. And then the rest, it's something that obviously that are there on the screen. The other one also, which is Water Service Act as well. That one, obviously, we work with the Department of Water and Sanitation. And this is our mandate. Our mandate is to promote, delivery of water-related services to the communities falling within the areas where we supply water. We're also dealing with other places that is outside the areas, Rainwater's areas of supply. The second one, obviously, we coordinate CSI activities, within the areas that we work with, and then we also work with different partners and donors as well. The third one, we play a strategic developmental role that may require decisions that are not always optimal for commercial perspective. And these are our strategic goals, within Rainwater Foundation. We obviously support the core business, which is rainwater, and then we promote socio-economic. I think that one obviously talks to CSI. We achieve a high-level impact in terms of investment growth through our partnerships. And then obviously rainwater, it enhances visibility of Rainwater Foundation and promote good corporate publicity. Now, within Rainwater Foundation, we have different activities. We have primary activities, and then we also have secondary activities as well. So the primary activities are closely aligned to what Rainwater does, which is supplying water to our communities and anything that is related to water. Obviously, we're dealing with sanitation issues. We're dealing with, conservation issues. We're dealing with many other things. So today, we're mostly going to talk to the primary activities of what we do within the foundation. And these are the activities that we have, within the Rainwater Foundation that are primary activities. You'll see there at the top, we are doing water sanitation and hygiene investments, which is also projects as well. We abbreviate it as WASH investments that we work, within Rainwater Foundation. The first one is sustainable water supply. Now, in terms of sustainable water supply, there are many areas, developing areas within our communities where you find that many of these development communities, they do not have water. And like, for instance, maybe when you go to a certain municipality, they would not have the right infrastructure, for those communities to have water itself. So there we would drill boreholes, for the community so that people are be able to get water. In other areas where, where our municipalities, you'd find that there's one place that has water, the other one doesn't have. And this would be as a result of water leaks. So these water leaks, we send out people within the community, to deal with those water leaks, and we repair them and so on. The second one is adequate and dignified sanitation facilities. These ones, we still have places that still have the bucket systems. I mean, those things is like, within the era that we're in at this stage, those ones have to be eradicated. So we look at those places, we obviously build toilets, for people to have dignified, sanitations. And then also we work within the wastewater treatment plants. We work with our local municipalities in terms of seeing whether those wastewater treatment plants work very well. Number three, we do capacity building of SMMEs. And I think that is one of the things that we want to do today. It's also the same as number four, which is capacity building of NGOs. We really want to develop SMMEs within our communities so that, they can also create their own revenue as well. They can also support their families and then also do good in terms of the activities that Rainwater does want to do within the communities. So we develop, SMMEs that are startups. We support them, after startups, and then obviously to a certain extent where you'll be able to sustain yourself as an SMME or an NGO. And then these are the pictures that of activities that we've had, within our programs. The first one you'll see there is the communities water supply. This is an area where we have drilled boreholes. You'll see there that we have our JoJo tanks. We'll see that we have our standpipes. People can come into this area and then they can come and fetch water, for their own households. But then this water, obviously, it has to be clean. So we obviously attach filters so that, when you have that drinking water, you have water that will be able to, to keep you healthy and not obviously give you a couple of sicknesses, or maybe, you can get sick from the boreholes that we drill. The second one is also a borehole that was drilled. Obviously, this one, it's pipes that have been connected within the community. You'll see the picture on your left. There's a gentleman there holding a bucket. That was the area where, this community did not have a borehole. And then on the right is the same place where a borehole was drilled. And like people are able to drink safe and clean water. And then this other slide, it talks about the water leaks that we have in our communities. We have people that we train, and then that can also go within the households, in our communities, and help with the leakages of water. I mean, at this current stage, rainwater is losing a lot of water in our communities, and that water is just running down the streets, and is water that could be useful, for our health and many other activities that we have within our communities. And then this one is adequate and dignified sanitation. You will see the picture on your left. That was the toilet that was used in our community or in this area. Now, this toilet, obviously, it's not a good place. I mean, imagine if you go in there, now you have to hide your head, like, you won't be able to, to do your stuff correctly there. But then on your right, it's a toilet that was erected, within the community. And, the people in that area are quite happy, to be able to use sanitation, that are very adequate and dignified for us as well. And this is another toilet that was also erected in our communities as well. You'll see it was connected to, a JoJo tank there. Obviously, it has running water, and it's also one of the well implemented project that we had. And then these are the toilets that were built at schools that are around us within our municipalities. And, the schools, obviously, some of the facilities within the schools, they downgrade. And, we come in as Rainwater Foundation to come and assist. And this is also a borehole that was drilled in a school, and, it's working very well. At some point, some of these schools, when there's no water, the kids are told to go home, and you lose learning time, within that day. But at this point, when there's water and then there's sustainable water within the schools, then we are able to go on and with our learning development within the school. And then here we have one of our colleagues there that was doing community awareness at one of the places that we visited. Obviously, we also go around and educate our communities about the importance of water, about how the water was purified even before it came to their taps, and how they should conserve it so that we don't lose this important asset that we have within us. And then here, this is the area where we have trained some of our SMMEs and also our NGOs as well, so that they are able to run their businesses, they are able to, to control their finances and administrative issues, so that tomorrow, a business can stand and compete among other businesses within South Africa. And then this one is our wastewater treatment plants, where we do upgrades, and then we also check, how the facilities, within these wastewater treatment plants are conducive, in terms of working well from, whatever waste that are coming from our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the activities that we are involved in as Rainwater Foundation. And I will conclude here, and then I will say, it always seems impossible until it is done. We are really very passionate about the work that we do. Most of the times when we look at the challenges that we have within our communities, you would find that, some of them, when you look at them, it seems very impossible. But obviously, when we work with other partners and other stakeholders, it's always something that can be done. And we are grateful to have National Empowerment Fund as one of our partners so that this work can be done. I'll conclude there, and yes, I'll hand over to the MC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pitikwe, for that insightful presentation. As we have heard, there are many opportunities emerging within the water and sanitation sector. For entrepreneurs to participate meaningfully, they also need the right support structures. This includes things like entrepreneurship training, business development support, mentorship and incubation, and assistance with business planning and compliance. This is where the National Empowerment Fund's non-financial support programs becomes incredibly important. Through initiatives like this partnership, entrepreneurs are supported not only with funding, but also with skills, with tools, and mentorship needed to build sustainable businesses. To take us through the non-financial support available, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Mpumi Majola. She leads the NEF's National SMME Development and Entrepreneurial Readiness Programs. She oversees implementation of the NEF's SMME strategy, focusing on non-financial support, enterprise development, incubation, investment pipeline, development, and early stage business readiness. She manages NEF's flagship entrepreneurship training program. Her work is especially impactful among township and rural enterprises, women-led businesses, and early stage startups. Ms. Majola, over to you.
My name is Mpumi Majola, and I am the pre-investment manager. And I will be taking through our non-financial support products and services. But before I even go through that, I will then need to take you through what NEF is and what do we do. Like any other organization, we are governed by a mandate. So our mandate is to actually, it's established by the National Empowerment Fund, Act 105 of 1998. We are there to be a driver and the thought leader in promoting the Black empowerment, economic participation through the provision of financial and non-financial support. But over and above that, we are also looking at promoting the culture of saving and investment among the Black people. And just to note, NEF is the only agency by the DTIC that is to provide exclusively mandated to grow the triple BEE. As the NEF, we start from 250,000 to 75 million. This is the money that we give to our entrepreneurs. It's not a grant, but a loan. We look at the startup business, we look at expansion, and we look at equity acquisition. Some of the products that we actually do as the NEF, we will be looking at your rural and community development. That is when we're speaking about your agricultural products or agricultural businesses. We're looking at tourism where it's community-based, you want to build a hotel, or maybe you have a farm that you want to actually sell things to your Woolworths, to your Checkers, to your Boxers. We as the NEF are able to do that through our rural and community development service. And then there is franchising, where you want to start a business which has to do with franchising. You're looking at your KFCs, we're looking at your fuel stations, anything that has to do with franchising. We are able to look at that as the NEF. Then we go to procurement. We've got partnerships by the likes of your Transnet, we have your Rand Water right now, foundation that we're working with. So when you get tenders from those organizations, you are able to bring those tenders to us, and we are able to look at that as the NEF. And then entrepreneurship, you have a startup business, you want to start a business, any idea that you have that you want to start working it, you can put together your business plan, you come to the NEF, we will find you. Already you have a business, you want to expand your business, you feel like you've grown enough, but you don't have enough money to actually start that business. we call that expansion, and we are able to look at, you want to acquire a business, there is a white person that is selling their business, or you want to acquire a certain percentage on those big businesses, you are able to come to the NEF with your nice business plan. We look at it and we are able to assist you on that. Our funding criteria. Each application we are able to assess in terms of the following things. We look at the minimum percentage of Black ownership or interest. So we don't just get applications and sit with them, or we say we can't look at them. You need to have that minimum participation as the Black owner of the business. We look at Black women empowerment. We are very huge in women empowerment. We love to empower women. So if you're a woman and you have a business that you want to work on, or you are already in business and you need money, managerial, you need to manage your business and you need to be involved. As much as you could be hired by someone, or you're working for someone, or employed, but we still want to see you getting your, because we believe that if you run your own business, you will be able to make it succeed. But if you ask people to run your businesses, then that becomes a problem, because you won't know the problems that you actually encounter in your business. We look at commercial viability. We want you to make sure that you succeed. We want to make sure that you grow. There must be some viability that is happening within your business. So before we can even get give you money, we need to make sure whether there is some commercial viability that is happening in your business. Job creation, government is very big on job creation. NEF is very big in job creation. We know that in South Africa, we've got issues as far as job creation are concerned. So we want to make sure that if you started your business with one person, how many people are going to be employed in your business by the time we give you money, or when we've given you money and you are operating now? We look at specific products criteria. What products are you offering? What is it that you're going to do? What problem are you trying to solve in terms? What problems are you trying to solve in terms of businesses that you are doing? And then we go geographic location. We always want to make sure that we empower businesses that are happening in the rural areas. We want to make sure that we are going into locations and we are building businesses there. We even have a spaza shop fund where we're making sure that we trying to revitalize townships. So even that, we actually look at it, because we know that in rural areas there has been very a lot of disadvantages that people are getting when they're trying to open businesses. So as the NEF, we are saying we are moving from the city centers. We are willing to go to the rural areas and townships in making sure that businesses there are grown. And then we look at community involvement. We always want to make sure that you are not just eating that pie alone, but you're sharing it with everyone that is around you. What is it that you are doing for your community? What is it that is benefiting the community in the area that you're living with, or in the area that your business is run into? So we want to make sure that whatever that you are doing, you are sharing that with everyone, because if the NEF is assisting you, the NEF is also expecting that you're also assisting other people that you're working with. And then we look at compliance issues. We can't be funding products that are not there is no compliance or regulations or laws that have been done into it. Let's say you say you've got cleaning detergencies. We need to know that compliance as far as those has been done, because we don't want to be seen in the pages of the newspapers where people are hurt or harmed by the product that you've developed. So we want to make sure that before we can even fund you, that has been done. We look at the return on investment. What is the return on investment that we have done? Are we getting anything out of this investment that we have done with your business? And then the possibility of co-funding with other public or private sectors. We are very big on that. We do co-fund, hence we have this partnership as well. So when we're funding you, we also look at who else can be assisting us in terms of co-funding, so that we can maximize your exposure in terms of the businesses that you are running. So we don't just look at what you are going to do, but we also look at how, as the NEF, are going to assist you in terms of running and growing your business. Once we have done all of that, we've looked at the criteria, but we also take note that there are challenges that our entrepreneurs are experiencing when they want to start their businesses. We know that Black people have never been really given that much opportunity to be able to start with their businesses with the money that they were left with by their forefathers or whoever that has been rich in the family. So we know that there is limitation in terms of your own capital. That is where we come in as the NEF. We know that there is a challenge in terms of access to affordability of your capital. So if you can't afford the capital, you don't need to go to the other banks when we are here as a DFI to assist you. There is limited management skills. Hence, we have our financial support. We do have your entrepreneurial training where we will then train you in terms of understanding your management skills, in terms of understanding your financials, in terms of understanding how to market your business and expose your business so that you can get markets and run your business in a way that you are happy and us as investors are happy. We know that there's a lack of accurate and reliability financial information. So those are the things that we give to you as the NEF. So we don't just say this is the funding we giving you and we're leaving you there. We know that there is poor quality of business plans. Hence, we are working with our incubation partners to make sure that there is a business plan that they put forward for you, and they make sure that in that business plan, it incorporates everything that an investor would like to see and give you an allowance to be able to go sell your business plan and get the funding you're looking for. We look at the lower bargaining power and strong competitions. We know that there are strong competitions. Let's say you want to get into a stationary business. We know that we've got your P&As. They are very big. And when you are trying to get there, you might have issues of getting in there because already they know the markets. They know the brand. And when you're coming with your own brand, no one knows about your brand. But this is where we come in making sure that we make sure that your market and your brand is known and people tend to trust your brand, given our brand as the NEF. And we know that there is a lack of access into local and international markets. Those are the things that we look to. So when we go to these conferences, when we go everywhere that we are invited, we try and penetrate the markets for our entrepreneurs and making sure that our entrepreneurs are also getting a better chance to run their businesses. As the NEF, we will then look at the NEF strategic goals and the outcome in terms of what needs to be done for us to assist you. We need to make sure that we provide your business ventures and established management by Black people. So we need to make sure that it is managed by Black people, no one else. We do not encourage fronting in our funding. We make sure that you need to be Black and you need to understand what you are doing. We invest in Black empowered businesses that have high employment creating opportunities. As I have said, we know that there are challenges of employing of youth, employing of Black people, employing of women. So we will make sure that whatever business you're doing, there is some sort of job creation that is happening there. Supports the participation of Black women, youth, and people living with disability. We make sure that in whatever businesses that we work on, we have that element of Black women. We even have a fund that looks at Black women. We make sure that there is youth. We make sure that people living with disability are not left aside. They are also getting something in terms of this economy. We maximize the support on the township and rural. So we go to these townships. We go and talk about the NEF, what the NEF is all about. We sit with the chambers within those rural areas and townships and say, what businesses do you have? Show us your database. How can we assist people within your townships and if in rural areas in terms of making sure that they are growing their businesses? I mean, we've got people that do agriculture. They plant different things in their backyards. How can we then bring your likes of Woolies, your likes of Pick and Pays to actually buy from these people? What is it that we can do that can grow their market so that they can then sell what they are doing and build businesses? We facilitate these investments to all the other provinces. So we go to all the 9 provinces. It's not just here in Gauteng, but we go everywhere in making sure that everyone know who the NEF is, and we are assisting those people to make sure that they get the funding that they need. We also encourage the culture of saving, because when you are running a business, you can't be just living from hand to mouth. You need to save. You need to make sure that you do have that stash that is out there for you to be able to grow your business and assist. Even if we have given you money, you need also to say, I still have a certain portion of money that is within my pocket that I can actually add in growing my business or in assisting the community that is around me. So we advance Black economic empowerment through commercially sustainable enterprises. We want to have those enterprises that are commercially sustainable and that are run by Black people. We don't just say Black people cannot run big businesses. We also want to see those things. Hence, we have hospitals that we have funded. Hence, we have malls that we have funded that are run by Black people. We will also want to establish the NEF as a financial sustained DFI in South Africa. That's what we pride ourselves with. When you look at the different provinces that we've go to and that we've invested into, then you will know what the work that we have done and the things that we have done for our Black people. And with everything that we are doing, we are governed by the government priorities. So we can't just sit and say we are doing work at our silos. We also look at what the government wants to do, and then from there we then decide as what are we going to do as NEF. So you would look at the sectors that we actually fund as the NEF or that we are interested in, and when you're looking at the priorities that the government has given us, then you will see the alignment. And in everything that we do, the most important thing that we do, we try and make sure that we are creating jobs. Everywhere we go, it's all about jobs, 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 because we leave our name. We are in empowerment, so we don't only look at the businesses that we're doing, we also look at what we can do in terms of making sure that our youth is not staying at home and not doing anything. With all of that having been said, then we go to our non-financial support in terms of what is it then that we are doing. Remember, we are a fund, but we are a fund with a soul. So we don't just say, if you don't want 250,000 or 75 million from us, then there is nothing we can do from you. We also sit back and say, what is it that we can actually do to make sure that we open a space where people can come to us and apply for funding? If you do not have the non-financial support, how are you going to be able to apply for funding at the NEF? Hence, we then have the department called the Pre-Investment Department, which I run, where it's the first point of contact. Anyone who wants to know what is happening at the NEF will come to us. We will tell you about the products and services. When you are not sure of your business plan and the information that is within the business plan, that is the department you go to. You don't need to make an appointment or anything. You can just come to the NEF or call the NEF. There will be someone who will be there to assist you. And this is when we then see if you actually want training or you want to be incubated, or you just want to be assisted with the application form and putting together the information from the funds. But once we have funded you, we don't just say we have funded you, you can go separate ways and run your business. You can see what to do. We do not do that. We have a post-investment department that then says, we have given you money, we have invested, but we still want to be there for you. We still want to hold you. We still want to make sure that your business grow. So that is the department that does that. They put together everything and make sure that whatever that is lacking, if you do not understand marketing, they will make sure that they will assist you in terms of marketing your business. If you do not understand financials, they will make sure that your financials are looked at and everything is done accordingly, and you don't have to pay a cent for that. NEF pays for everything that has to do with that part. And then we have your turnarounds, workout, and restructuring. So if you have applied at the NEF, we have funded you, and God forbid something happens to your business, it's not going the way it has been planned. We have a department that will then look at what has happened and try to assist you to resuscitate your business and make sure that your business runs. So we never say your business is not working and then we leave you like that. We always try and make sure that we build your business. We build what needs to be done in your business. So as we were sitting, we then said, what are the things that we need to do as pre-investment that we can call non-financial support and that we know that can benefit our entrepreneurs and make sure that our entrepreneurs understands what is it or what is meant by saying you are an entrepreneur and you are running a business. From all the declines that we were getting and all the information that we were getting that was incomplete, we came with entrepreneurial training. So we called it simulated entrepreneurial training. In this training, what were the objectives? What were we aiming to get? So we were mainly aiming to prepare participants to create and grow their business ventures and to provide financial understanding, your cash flow management and business management skills. How do we then do that? We capacitate both the emerging and established entrepreneurs according to their needs. So we don't just say we are training people, it's entrepreneurial training. We first do a needs analysis and check what is it that we need. We tailor our training based on what the entrepreneur needs or what their business needs. So these are the things that we would look at and tailor, then give it to you. The challenge, the idea of the entrepreneur and the way they conduct their businesses, because in most cases people have the ideas, they run their businesses, but how they conduct their businesses then will differ. You'll find that someone is running a business, they are using the very same account that they run the business with, and they also use it for their personal use. So this is where we come in with our training to say, no, that's not how you need to do your business. This is how you do your business. As entrepreneur and the owner of the business, you are still an employee in that business. You need to get a salary so that you see what you're doing. We educate entrepreneurs on how to then prepare a bankable business plans. So you don't just bring a business plan, but it must so that you get more to fund your business or more investors to invest in your business. We all improve the quality of business applications that is submitted to the NEF, and not the NEF alone, any other funding institution that you would prefer as the entrepreneur. So as much as we're doing all these things, we are not just pointing finger on you saying, come to the NEF, NEF will help you. We would love you to come to the NEF, but if you have other preferential institutions that can fund you, we will gladly let you go there, but we know that at least you've got a bankable business plan. We create a steady pipeline of potential businesses that can help and that can be assisting by us funding you and your business. The approach that we normally take when we're running our training. We focus not only on the business skills, but we also focus on the personal mystery. So we give you business skills, but also you as a personal entrepreneur, what is it that you want to demystify? So those are the things that we look at. We also emphasize on your own personal development so that at least you know what you're doing when you're running your business. Our training period is from 1 to 12 weeks, so it depends. As I've said, we alter the trainings based on what you want to get as an entrepreneur. Someone will say a week is enough. Someone will say 12 weeks is still okay for us, and we refer that as a boot camp. But if it's 12 weeks, we also understand that you are an entrepreneur, you're running a business. You cannot be sitting in a classroom for 12 weeks outside your business. So we stagger it so that at least we know that we give you time to actually run your business. So what is our first intention when we are actually running this training? We want to achieve transformation from being an employee, a job seeker, to become an entrepreneur. We also want you to now start giving employment to other people instead of you calling yourself an employee and seeking for jobs. With this bootcamp series, it is very intense. So this is where we are trying to help you and to image your business and to develop you as the entrepreneur. So we don't just want you to build a business, but we also want you to build an empire, the empire that will be seen by your kids or your family. So we don't just say, just go run your business, and when you are no longer there, no one will run a business. We want to run businesses that will stay there forever. And then we've got a team of very highly qualified and experienced facilitators that normally run our training. So we don't just sit and say, we are the NEF, we are employed by the NEF, and we master of everything. No, we have people that we work with. If you want to understand anything about law or anything that is legal affiliated, we have people that are lawyers, that are attorneys, that will then take you through the information that you need to understand. And they have the experience of that. And throughout our programs or bootcamp, we learn, and it's proactive. So you don't just sit and listen to someone, but it's proactive. You are actually learning. You get the wow factor as you are busy learning with them. Whatever that they are doing, it will suit your business. So you learn through your business. The business cases that you will be talking to are from your business. You talk about your business. And we also have our pitching sessions. So in those pitching sessions, that is when you are given an opportunity to actually tell us what you have learned and pitch your business. We invite different funding funding institutions as well, so that at least they can hear what we have learned. And if they are interested, you find yourself that after pitching sessions, you actually get an opportunity to get funding from different funding institutions other than the NEF. The course context that we provide, we look at general business module, like how to run it, how to conduct yourself in the business. And then we look at the financial modules as well. Your finances, your cash flows, how to manage those things. What is it that you need to understand? Even if you are not managing them, you've got a bookkeeper or an accountant, you still need to understand your numbers. You don't want people to tell you how your business is performing without you even understanding the jinx of how your business is performing. Your personal mystery, what is your purpose? Why have you opened this business? What is your vision? We want to understand those things. What are your expectations? The awarenesses around your businesses, the alignment between you and how you're running your business and your stakeholders within your business. So we try and put all of those things together so that at least you know that when you come out there, you have the entire package of your business, not just how to run your business, but also you found yourself and your needs within the business. Because at times you find that you open the business because you couldn't find employment. So you were looking for something that will give you money. But in the process, you actually get to enjoy what you're doing. And now you start getting that personal mystery where you want now to understand more of the business that you are running. Once we have training, because we need to have expectations on what is it that we want to do after we have trained you. We want to make sure that you get feedback on what has happened on the training. What is it that you got out of the training? So we measure your goals, the outcomes that were achieved during the training when you were trained. We also have a plan and mentorship. So we've got mentors that we give to you, and all of that you are not paying anything, by the way. So we give you these mentorships, we give you the training plan so that at least we know that we are tracking the performance. We know that you have completed the assignments that were given to you, and the information that then our mentors will be getting from you. It's very vital for us as the NEF so that we know that we've actually given you what we have promised and we are on the right track, so that even if we advertise our training for other people, they also get the same benefits that you have been getting. Hence, we always want to make sure that once we say, come to the training, please come and participate. Make sure that you start and you finish the program because we will have the attendance register and the contents that we have promised to give you, it is covered, and you will be the one telling us that yes, what you said you were going to give us, you did you did give it to us. And we want to make sure that everything went well. You have improved from when you started. There is the impacts that you will see from our training. Our SMMEs are benefiting from the training and they do get the procurement opportunities. So we want to make sure that you understand our training and you are built from our training. We want to get that needs analysis from our mentors to make sure that we provide those needs analysis where we can. And we also built an online community. So once the training has been completed and you are running your business, we still have a WhatsApp group that we create so that you guys can keep on talking to each other, talking to your mentors and talking to us as the NEF. So it's ongoing. You are not just left alone, but it's ongoing. When there are opportunities, we post them on that WhatsApp group so that at least you are able to get into those opportunities that are out there. And we are then expected to have the impact assessment so that we see that there is some impact from our investment. So you will be stuck with us for quite some time. We don't just say we've trained you for a week or for 12 weeks and we don't know who you are anymore. You are stuck with us because after 6 months, we still need to come back to you and say you attended our training. What has happened? Where are you? Is what you said will happen in your training happening? Are you still operational? And if you are not operational, what is the cause of you not being operational so that at least you are able to assist you? Are you fully compliant? the regulatory and the financials that are there, are you there? If it's not there, we've got our incubation partners that will then sit with you and assist you in making sure that you're getting all that. Has there been any improvement after you have attended our training? We want to see that, because if there's improvement, that it means we are on the right track. Has there been any increase in revenue? Are you doing well now? And if you're not doing well, let's go back to a drawing board. What is it that we can do to assist you? Has there been any increase in number of staff? Like I spoke about, I'll keep on speaking about job creation, because that is what our government wants, and that's what we also want to see as the NEF. So if you started with one staff member, how many do you have now? Do you need any assistance with that? So we always want to go back and check if anything has happened as far as your business is concerned, because we've already invested and we want to see if there are any changes after we've done our investment. Once the training is all done and completed, we just don't leave you there, because once you have been trained, then you need a space where you will operate. Then you need someone that will hold you so that you are able to apply all the principles that you have got from our training. This is where our business incubation factors. We will then have a business incubation program that we do. I have mentioned our mandates, and once I've mentioned our mandates, I did talk about our non-financial support. Our incubation forms part of our non-financial support, where we then look at what we have trained you at, what is it that you need from our needs analysis, and then we say, okay, now we're taking you to incubation. What do we want to get then from that incubation? We want to create a deal pipeline. Done. We've got deals that we get, but they don't have full information. So this is when then we work with these partners to say, these are the people, they've got the idea, they know what they're doing, they just need someone to take them to the right place. And our incubational partners will be those people. We identify where business may need assistance in terms of being admitted in this incubation. So when we take you there, we don't just say, this is the list of people. We want them to see what is it that we can do for them to actually take you, incubate you, and make sure that you get the right growth that you need for your business. And then once you have completed the incubation, you are then brought back to the NEF for funding, or to any other funding institutions, because even with the incubation partners, they've got the network of funders that are there and people that would offer grants that are there. So we work together and make sure that we co-fund, or we provide those fundings for our entrepreneurs to work with us. We also assist and monitor the jobs that are there. We also assist and monitor your progress in the incubation center. We even get reports to say, we got so and so at this stage, and now they are at that stage, and they are ready for funding. This is their information, this is their investment pack, and we would like you guys to then start running with it. So what is the importance of an entrepreneur to be incubated? It's very important that you are incubated, because when you're incubated, you get business mentorship and guidance from experienced professionals. So when you are there, you are guided, people know what they are doing, and they will make sure that by the time you come out there, your business is sustainable. You get skills development and more training that will strengthen your entrepreneurial capacity. So you don't just sit there, run your business. There's someone there and say, from your business, I see maybe you've hired staff and they lack client services. Then they will take your staff to the training for client services, so that at least when you bring clients in, you know that they services from your staff. You get access to networks and markets. So when you are there, it's different businesses. So there's a whole lot of networks that are happening there, and you get to be introduced to different markets. Companies come and invest in these incubation centers. So when Woolworths are looking for entrepreneurs that they will work with, they don't just put things in the newspapers or in the radios. They go to these incubation centers and say, I've got this much budget and I'm looking for people who are doing 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least when you are incubated there, you know that you will then get to hear about these opportunities rather than going around looking for them. It's innovation and technological support. So when you are there, there is a whole lot of things that are happening. Innovation, we know that things we get changes as far as our IT is concerned. So when you are there, whenever there are innovations that are happening, you are the first point of contact. People will be coming there to make sure that you know that you get specialized people who will assist you. If you have never had a website, you've got people that will design your website, and you don't have to pay anything because it forms the package of you being incubated. You improve business sustainability and growth. So when you get all of these things, you also feel like you are running a business. You also feel like you're an entrepreneur. You're no longer feeling like I'm just doing this so that I can feed my family, but you're doing this saying, I'm building an empire. I want to make sure that the people that I'm building this for, they will take it with and they will run until even if I'm not around, it's still operational. So through our incubation partners, the NEF is also committed to empowering entrepreneurs and providing structured support, ensuring that entrepreneurs are not left without direction. So you are not left without any direction. You are guided towards building your successful business. So we don't just leave you. We always make sure that in whatever we're doing, we go with you. Hence, we also want to come back and say, can you be our pride and joy? Can we talk about you? Can we tell people our success stories based on what has happened to you from where you started until where you at now? We work with different incubation partners. We have a whole lot list of the partners that we work with, but the ones that I've mentioned here are the ones that we've already signed MOUs with and we're already working with. We've got the Liparo, it's national. They are an incubation partner that works with quite a different, it's generic. So whatever business that you're running, you are able to work with them. We've got your River Sense, it's in Joburg as well. It's generic as well, but mainly developing business support. So when you are there, you know that you can run your business. You are given an office. You are given someone that's a business developer who works with you and making sure that your business grow. We've got your MLab, digital innovation, technology. So your website is there. You've got systems, everything. They make sure that everything, even if you are in an innovation space, you are able to go there and they will enhance your skill and make sure that you get to know each and every recent innovations that is happening as far as technology is concerned. We've got Timbali, it's in Mpumalanga. You know, when we went to Timbali, there is this one gentleman that was actually given a bursary by the NEF. This guy started studying and NEF gave them a bursary to open the business, and NEF assisted him to get into this incubation center. Now his revenue is over 5 million, and he only started 4 years ago, and his revenue is over 5 million, and it's all because he got the right guidance and he got the right people to understand what he wanted to do and they realize that dream. So I'm trying to say with everything that we do, we are able to handhold you, even if we take you as a student. We also want to understand what are your interests? What is it that you need to do? Because when we take you to school, we are not just looking at you going out and look for employment. We also want to see that you are opening a business if that's what you want to do. We are not just building people who wants to be employed alone, but we also want to make sure that we've got entrepreneurs in our space. So our incubation program just wants to make sure that it's creating pipeline for us as the NEF. We want to make sure that each and every business that needs assistance in terms of being admitted and in terms of building their businesses and growing their businesses, we are there to assist. And once we have completed our incubation, we make sure that you are funded, you get that reputation funded that will be able to assist you, whether it's private or it's public. And we're also making sure that you get the necessary tools to run your business. We also monitor how you are doing after the incubation, the job that you have created. Is there any assistance that you need? Do you need any interns in your business if you still cannot afford to pay for the people that are working for you in the business? These are the things we work with the different sectors in making sure that you are assisted and you are getting the right assistance that you need. What is it that you actually get from being incubated or when you get into these incubation offices? So when you get them, the type of services that you get, it's business development services. So they make sure that they strengthen your business acumen. They make sure that you've got the systems that you need to run your business. You get access to market, you get access to finance. You are trained, you are mentored, you've got the networks that you are looking at. You get to be provided a physical space. You know, when you're running a business, there are businesses where you won't even be given an opportunity. Let's say you're running a catering business. You won't even be given an opportunity when you don't have a proper kitchen that you work in. So when you are incubated, you are able to get that kitchen, professional kitchen. You go there, even when they bring people to check your kitchen, they know that everything is there. They bring the health inspectors, everything is there. So that is what incubation is there for. If you have someone that says, I want to meet you in your office, at least you've got that pride that I have an office that I can take these people to. I'm not going to take them into my garage or into my living area in my house and have a business there, or take them to a coffee shop. You have a proper business that shows that you are a business person, you're running a business, and it has all the facilities that you will need when you are running a business and have an office space. And the funding, with incubators, they have relationships with different funders, including us, the NEF. So when you are there, you know that when you are ready, they will tell you that now you are ready. You can get funding, because at times when you running a business, the first thing that comes to mind is, I need funding to run a business. But when you are incubated, then you realize that actually I don't need funding. I needed proper structures. So now that you are there, when you need funding will be provided to you based on the partnerships that we've made. And if it's not funding that you need, it's structures. Those structures will be provided to you, and you start seeing the return of your business, because now you've got the right structures that you didn't have whilst you started your business. And going back to the partnership that we have with the Rainwater Foundation, this is why we had this partnership. We were more aiming into making sure that we strengthen the supplier sustainability, we promote localization, and we increase the participation of Black women, youth, and people living with disabilities, especially in the water and sanitary value chain. So what are these benefits the entrepreneurs that will get should they form part of this partnership we have? They will benefit by getting access to our entrepreneurial training and incubation support. They will get mentorship and capacity building. They will improve access. They will improve access to their consensory and patient capital. So whatever capital that you will be looking for, you will then get access to it. They will get market opportunities and business leakages within their water sector. So you won't just say there's only Rainwater Foundation that is there, but there is a whole lot that you can do if you are in this space. So once you get into our training and incubation, those are the things that we'll start introducing to you, so that you will know what needs to be done for you to grow your business, and not only rely on Rainwater Foundation, but you are relying everywhere else, so that you are able to grow that business. And Rainwater can sit back and say, oh, wow, we started with this person, but now look at where this person is. And the impact really that is happening there is that it will then empower our entrepreneurs with skills, with funding, and support that is needed to grow a sustainable business, contributing to job creation and the greater participation in the water and sanitary industry. So we're calling upon every artisan, every business person that is out there who wants to be part of this partnership to come through and experience the exciting services that Rainwater Foundation with NEF are trying to do. And let's see what we can do as South Africans, as people who wants to grow our businesses and who wants to make sure that we use the talents that we have in running our businesses. I thank you. Over to you, our program director.
Thank you very, very much, Ms. Majola, for that presentation. I suppose now is a good time. It's a very, very thorough presentation. I suppose it's a good time to introduce the enterprise and supply development programs that the NEF has. And I mean, through this partnership with Rainwater Foundation, the NEF will support enterprises through a combination of development finance and enterprise development mechanisms, helping businesses to grow and participate in value chains linked to the water sector. To unpack this further, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Thabisile Phungula. She is an Enterprise and Supply Development Support Specialist at the National Empowerment Fund, with experience in mobilizing capital to advance inclusive economic growth. At the IDC, she was responsible for managing development finance institution portfolio, raising cost-effective funding to support investments across various strategic sectors. At the NEF, she focuses on fund mobilization and building multilateral and institutional partnerships that strengthen enterprise and supplier development, particularly for women, youth, and underserved communities. Ms. Pungula, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for that background, Ms. Matai. I think we'll just start with the strategic objectives of the NEF, just to bring some context into the structure. So we are driven by 4 main pillars. We've got the strategic objectives that are derived directly from the NEF Act, the BE Act together with the Code of Good Practice, and these are advancing BBBE, maximizing the empowerment dividends, which Ms. Mpumi has spoken about, establishing the NEF as a financially sustainable DFI, and optimizing non-financial support. So some context on our performance to date since inception. We've approved 1,902 transactions worth over 16.5 billion across the country, over 11.5 billion dispersed to Black-owned businesses since inception, and we have 24 strategic and industrial projects worth over 12.6 billion, with the potential to support over 52,000 jobs. Over the period, we've also received repayments from our investees for an amount of over 6.5 billion, and we've managed to support jobs to the amount of 160,680. We've also trained through the entrepreneurial training 8,104 potential entrepreneurs, and our footprint starts from the regions directly coming through to the pre-investment unit. So we've actually secured 73% of approved transactions from the regional offices and the pre-investment unit. We've also held 904 community seminars in villages and township communities. And one of the projects that we also like to mention is the Asonge Share Scheme that made over 12 million MTN shares to over 87,000 investors comprising of Black individuals, and 49% of these investors were women. The performance by provinces, you can see there on the pie chart that Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, and Western Cape takes majority of the share of our investments, but we do have interventions in the other provinces that are going to increase our investments in that space. Our value of investments to date is 9.3 billion, and 2.3 billion has been towards women-owned and youth-owned businesses. The sectors that are funded by the NEF, we fund Black industrialists, we support SMEs, we do township and rural economy, we do property, we are big on construction, tourism, affordable and social housing, student accommodation, agro-processing, and energy, where we've invested over 885 million in service station, countrywide, 40% of these, which are owned and managed by Black women. So this slide speaks to the high impact areas within the NEF. We have manufacturing, SMEs, rural and township development, and the green economy. And in each of these sectors, you'll see some of the big tickets that we've actually funded out of these sectors. And I know Ms. Mpumi has spoken much about these funds. We are organized according to funds. We've got the Strategic Projects Fund, which funds the development of projects through stages of development. The products that you'll find here will be your venture capital funding structures, development of Black industrialists, and the range starts from 0 all the way to 75 million. Then we have the Mnoto Fund, which provides capital for expansion of businesses, the buying of shares in white-owned businesses or funding new ventures. And the products that you'll find here will be your acquisitions, new ventures, expansion, capital markets, liquidity and warehouse funding, and the range is 2 million all the way to 75 million. Then we have the Imbeu Fund, which is the SMME Fund, which supports startup businesses, provides capital for expansion of small enterprises. And the products that you'll find here will be your franchise financing, procurement, contract, entrepreneurship funding, and the range is from 250,000 to 15 million. Then we have the Rural Township and Community Development Fund, which supports the development and growth of rural economy in rural economies. And the products that you'll find here will be your new ventures, business acquisitions, expansion, and the range is from 1 million to 50 million. Then we have the Women Empowerment Fund, which is our pride and joy, which supports businesses that are more than 35% owned and managed by Black women. The product offering on this one cuts across all the funds that I've actually just explained, and the range is from 250,000 all the way to 75 million. Then the performance and investment criteria, Ms. Majola has spoken briefly about this. So we assess deals not only on the investment return, but we also look at things like the broad-based Black economy empowerment, the ownership structure, the management control, employment equity. We look at if it's going to be creating an employment for jobs, if it's going to be empowering women, if it's within a growth sector, and if not, how can we create those market linkages? We also look at the geographic spread to make sure that we cover all the provinces, especially rural and peri-rural areas. And we also do still focus on the investment return because we need to be a sustainable DFI to continue the work that we're doing in this space. So with regards to the ESD partnership portfolio, we are a transformation partner that is trusted by many in that we have partnered with government departments, SOEs, and private sector companies. These partnerships really support transformation, BEE development, and empowerment objectives. Our BEE facilitator status enables measured entities to earn BEE points when the ESD funds are deployed into the economy. So these partnerships also help us create businesses and market opportunities for existing NEF clients. Through these products and services, we're able to support enterprises within the partners' value chains like the Rand Water Foundation. And then we're also able to crowd in financial resources, stretch the Rand, and impact more entrepreneurs. And the funds are generally managed by a partner whose core mandate is transformation and empowerment. We also have timeless implementation of transformation initiative and ongoing joint communication on partnership progress and achievements. And this allows the partner to focus on their core business while NEF provides the much needed investment and non-financial support. Just to speak to some of our high-level performance from the ESD side, to date, we have raised 4.9 billion and 1.7 billion of this is currently active. We've also have a total number of partners within our book that is up to 31, and 13 of these come from the private sector entities. And the middle screen will also just show you some of the funds that we have and the activities that are going on there. We have your TTF, which is a Tourism Transformation Fund. We have Northern Cape, we have Transnet, we have UIF, and these all show the utilization and the jobs that have been created under these funds. Our portfolio contribution split by value is 93% towards government entities and 7% private sector. So this is also some of the partners that we have on our stable. And we're really excited to be entering into a partnership with the Rand Water Foundation to continue doing the work in terms of accelerating Black economic empowerment and also reducing the unemployment through training some of these young entrepreneurs in this space. And that brings me to the end of our presentation. I think Ms. Majola did cover the benefits that you will get as an entrepreneur through this program, but also she has spoken to what exactly is this partnership about and what it entails to cover. So as we start this partnership, we actually urge that you go along with us on this journey. There'll be many products that will be coming out of these. There'll be training. There will also be financial investments that you can make, we can make through the transactions that you bring forth. So we are happy to have this discussion with you now. Over to you, Program Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pangula, for that informative presentation. We will now move into the Q&A session. And I just want to make sure our speakers are ready to take questions. Please ready yourselves if you are not. We'd like to invite our participants to please engage us. If you have questions for the speakers, please type them in the Q&A section of this webinar, and we will be sure to ask those questions on your behalf. See, there are some comments in the chat about presentations and whether we will be able to share them with all of you. Please note we will be happy to share this recording. It will be available on our social media pages. So those who were not able to join immediately, that presentation or the recording will be made available to all of you. Presentations included as well. So let's jump in. Speakers, please bring yourselves to the main screen and switch on your cameras as you respond to some of these questions. I saw one for Rand Water, and there is another one around responding to applications. So I'll start with the NEFs. Ms. Majola, if you could address this question from Anonymous. Anonymous is asking, how long does it take for an indigent applicant or application to be approved? And the comment there is that it's been 3 months since they've applied. Could you kindly please talk to that? And maybe we'll just take one question at a time. Is that fine? Should we take a few? Okay, no, happy with that. There's another anonymous, this one is quite a lengthy one. Anonymous says, I'm currently based in Knysna, where water shortages are becoming increasingly severe. I would like to explore the possibility of approaching the Rand Water Foundation and the NEF to support the development of boreholes for community water supply. Could you please clarify, and I guess this is both for NEF and Rand Water, could you please clarify the following? Would funding for this type of initiative typically be provided as a grant, or would it be structured as a repayable loan? And is there a list of geographic areas where Rand Water operates or has a presence that was, or has a precedence that we can access? Or presence, my apologies. So where can they access these services? If a community falls outside Rand Water's operational footprint, is it still possible for them to support or partner in projects in those areas? And just lastly, can I use an NPC organization to apply? That is from Anonymous, and the Anonymous had 4 questions for you. And then let me just check, maybe let's just address those questions as a start. And I'll just look through to see if there are any further questions. So over to you, Ms. Majola, Ms. Pongula, and Mr. Pitikwe. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. For our turnaround times, for the application that comes through the NEF, it takes 4 to 12 weeks for an application to get response from the NEF. However, if the information that you have submitted at the NEF is not enough, then it takes a bit longer. So we always plead with our applicants that you need to respond when we send you emails. You need to speak to us when you don't understand the information that you need to submit to us, because if we do not get the information that we need to assess your application, then it takes longer. And if we have all the information that we need, then we are able to then take the minimum time. However, there are also deals that need to go to board. So those deals will also take longer, which are above 10 million. But we are able to work with our entrepreneurs, and they will know when and what is happening. Our investment associates normally speaks with our entrepreneurs as they apply, so they will know. But the normal time that we would like to work with, it's 6 to 12 weeks for an application to be completed by the NEF. And then Anonymous spoke about whether they can apply if they need to do boreholes, something like that, or is it a grant? So I think our colleagues from Rand Water Foundation will also take that one. But as far as I know, there are no grants that has been given. So far, we are only doing non-financial supports, and maybe as the time goes on, we will then do financial support. But for you to come to the NEF, there will be no grants. It's a loan funding, and we will be using our loans to assist you. If you have a business plan that has to do with the work that you want to do, you can bring to us, let us assess and see what happened. I see there is also Ms. Fagute on the line. Probably she will then take us through how our funding structure is going to be like. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Pitikwe, please go ahead.
Okay. We have a question. I think I will address the question. There's a question from somebody from Knysna. Obviously, the question says that they have water shortage issues within Knysna, and whether Rand Water will be able to help with the support of National Empowerment Fund. I think at this stage, we are at the beginning stage of our relationship with NEF, and the decision at this point was that we will focus on activities still within Gauteng or in the areas where Rand Water supplies its water. And our relationship is a long relationship. Our relationship would be a relationship that would go over 5 years. And in this regard, within those coming years, then we will focus on other provinces, including Gauteng as well. But remember, the program here is going to start first with training our SMMEs. And, after training our SMMEs, when we feel they are ready, to conduct businesses in their areas, then that's when we will be able to look at funding in terms of those activities that you want to undertake. So at this point, we are focusing on training our small, medium, businesses. And, after that has happened, then we will look at all the activities that Rainwater Foundation undertakes. And then from there, then we will look at, how can we fund the activities that you want to undertake, within your provinces. So for now, colleagues, I think let us focus on us applying for, this initiative that these two organizations are doing in terms of training you. And then from there, then, we can undertake all the activities that you have in your provinces. But if you have, activities within Gauteng that you want to participate in, obviously, you can contact us within Rainwater Foundation. We will see, our partnership with NEF, how we can both work together in assisting you. The main aim here is to uplift our organizations that are within the communities, especially those ones that are run by our youth, women, and people with disabilities. So we will look at all the avenues in order to assist for you to develop into well-developed organizations going forward. But obviously after this, you'll be told on how to apply, you'll be told on how to take these interventions going forward. And maybe let's start there. And then from there, then we can get into activity at a later stage. Thank you very much, Chair.
I'm going to just try once more with Ms. Fakute and to see if her sound system is working. Ms. Fakute.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, okay, good morning to everyone. My name is Noktula from the NEF. I just wanted to indicate, especially the question or comment from the listener from the Western Cape, NISNA in particular. So I just wanted to indicate that, as Mr. Pitika has said, this is mainly focusing on the areas where Rainwater operates, including their non-footprint areas like KZN. They mentioned Mpumalanga and the Eastern Cape. But the important thing to note is the fact that we are going to start with training, mainly focusing on entrepreneurs that are falling within the category of youth, women, and people living with disabilities. And after the training, that I think Ms. Nachola has indicated, the training will be compulsory. If you don't complete the training or you attend few days and you don't go through the duration, then you won't qualify for the opportunities. That's the first thing to note, critical for you to be considered. The second one, when I say considered, I mean considered for the opportunities. The second issue is the fact that you need to be South African, because our funding is exclusively for South Africans. So you need to be a registered business with a CIPC, and to be a South African, and you need to have all your documents compliant. So if you register or you've got employees, you need to make sure that your employees are registered with UIF, so that they get all what is due to them timeously and in accordance to the regulations and the laws of South Africa. The third one is the fact that after the training, opportunities are going to be made available by Rainwater. And if there is a need for funding, you will be more than welcome to come to the NEF. However, you need to be able to demonstrate that you will be creating jobs, because whatever we are doing as government entities, that is ourselves as NEF and the Randwater Foundation, is to impact our economy through job creation and sustaining those jobs that are there. So we are going to do business with people who are legal. When I say legal, you don't have to have a criminal record. You must be South African. You must be a registered entity, that is a legal entity, and then all the others. So a checklist will be shared with those who will have completed the training. We might start with a small number because we are still piloting. And then as soon as we go full blown as a program, then we will keep announcing, we will keep making sure that everybody understands where we are. But for people who are outside the jurisdiction of Randwater, please make sure that maybe you go to your municipality and say, there is a program that has been started by Randwater and NEF. We would like also to have the same program or a similar program in our province. We are open to partnering with a number of institutions, whether private or public sector, for the empowerment of our entrepreneurs. We do a joint fund, as Tapsile has indicated, where we jointly contribute towards a fund that will ensure that the beneficiaries of that particular partner benefit. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Farr. Just for the benefit of the audience, Ms. Nogutula Fakude is our manager, the third-party funds department at the NEF. We're just going to move through the other questions then that I see in the chat. Shumani has a question for both the NEF and Randwater. And the question is, does Randwater enter into off-take agreements? And if yes, what are the minimum requirements and approval process? So that's for Mr. Pitikwa. And then, does the NEF fund feasibility studies? And if yes, under which funding instruments and what are the key eligibility criteria? I think either Ms. Farr or Mpume can take that one. Over to you. Let's start with Randwater, please.
All right. Thank you very much for the interesting questions. I see there's a question here that's asking where do and who do we contact within the foundation for Mr. Pitikwe. We will share our email address for any information that you would want to request from us. We'll share our email address. I'll share it still on the Q&A. And if people want to obviously contact us, send us your request over emails, and then we'll promptly respond. We'll respond to you. We mentioned that there was another question. Are you going to take it, Nef? Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. The offtake agreements are definitely going to be coming from Randwater. So NEF is a funder. So we are going to work closely with Randwater to determine if a particular offtake or contract offered or an order offered aligns with the funding. So we will work closely, we will inform them on what the requirements are. Hence, I spoke about the checklist. So if maybe the funding requires 10 million, that's an example, then the offtake as well must talk to that, the price, the duration of the contract, and the required service. So they cannot give you a contract that is for a year or 2 years, and then the funding is more than that. So everything must align. So the agreements or the contracts are going to be coming directly from Randwater, but as partners, we will work together to ensure that they align to the funding that NEF provides. And then the second thing, in terms of feasibility studies, yes, we've got a unit called Strategic Projects Fund that funds the big transactions like your Black Industrialist transactions. And you forward your concept there, then they check the concept, whether it's something that they can do. And then when, let me say, they've agreed to do the feasibility study and paid for it, then at the point where it's funding ready, then we get other investors to come on board and jointly fund with us or invest in that particular transaction. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fakute. There's just a few questions on this particular partnership. Does this partnership between NEF and Rand Water have a specific application process for incubation or support? And then please advise on the process for applying for the training. And just lastly, for now, for this round, can the training be online or must you be in person? This is for somebody that's staying in the Western Cape. Over to you.
Our training is going to be physical. However, Rand Water also has the right to tell us on what they will prefer or where their candidates are based, because we listen to our clients. So if our client says the training needs to be virtual, it becomes virtual. If it needs to be a hybrid training, it becomes a hybrid training. But in most cases, we prefer that training be done face to face, so that at least we see the people that we are assisting and we also get to understand the issues around their businesses. So from the list that we will be getting, so when the applications are open and people are getting into our training, then we will see where they are based. If we have more people based in a certain area, then in that area it will be face to face. But if we have people that are in a certain area but it's not too many people that are there, then we can open it up so that people can at least do the hybrid model. So those that are far and we don't have numbers there, we can have a link so that they are able to attend our training. And then the process for the training, as Ms. Nogutula has said, we are looking at youth, we are looking at women, and we are looking at people living with disability. So we will be putting on our socials on the criteria that will be used and when our training is going to be going to start, and then from there, please have a look out so that you are able to apply for the training. Thank you.
No problem.
There's a question here from Mbuso, and the question is, my partners and I have a business idea and basic undeveloped business model. We require incubation to formulate and structure the business, with the outcome being an investment-ready business plan and interactive platforms like a website and application for our client interactions. Would that perhaps form part of the non-financial interventions provided? There was another question, Mpume, for you as well. How does one apply to be part of this incubator program? And there was another one as well. How do I apply for non-financial business support? Over to you, Mpume.
The first question on will they be able to form part of our incubation process if they want to work with his business partner? Yes, they can definitely be part of our incubation process, and it is our non-financial support. Please write your details on the chat so that we can able to have your details, and then we can take it offline and we will take you through what needs to happen and understand your business even more so that we know which incubation partner we need to take you to. It goes back to the one who's saying, how does one apply? So the only thing that we need to know the name of your business, how many people are employed in your business, if there are any, where is your business based, what kind of business are you doing, because that will allow us to know which sector do you fall to and which incubation partner we can take you to and where do you stay, so that at least we take you to a business incubation that is closer to you, so that it makes it easy for you to be able to go there as and when you need to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's a question around whether people can apply for incubation as individuals. So Silo Mokwati wants to know, for a person to be part of non-financial support or incubation, must they apply individually or in a group? And he gives an example. They have an NPC in Sharpeville. local tourism, and we can organize SMMEs to be on behalf of this program? Is it advisable to do so?
Thank you, Program Director. For a person to form part of our non-financial support, which is either entrepreneurial training or incubation, you don't have to be in a group. If you are in a group, it's all good. If you are running a business all by yourself, it's still all good. Remember, I said we are growing businesses. So if you're running your own business and you feel you need to benefit from our incubation program, you come to us and say, this is the business that I'm running. I've been struggling to grow my business. I've been struggling to get legalized in terms of everything that is needed in my business, like registering my business and everything. Then you come to us. You give us all your contact details. We work with you. We speak to our incubation partners so that they admit you and you form part of the incubation that you want to be at. So it doesn't have to be a group or you being an individual. As long as you feel that you can benefit from it and you know what you need from it, you can just come to us. We can then assist you. So there is no application process that happens. What normally happens, you call the NEF or you send an email to us and you say, these are my details and this is what I'm doing. We then take your information, we take it to our incubation partners. Then they will have a meeting with us and yourself, trying to understand your business. Once everything has been done and you are also happy with what they are saying they will offer you, then we will agree in terms of you starting the incubation, then we take it from there. So you don't have to stress in terms of what if I apply and they decline me or anything. As long as you are running a business and you believe in your business and you know what you want to achieve out of your business and you are willing to work together with us. Even Noguthula emphasized on the fact that when we give such services, you need to show that you want to attend, you are there, you are available, you show enthusiasm, because if you are doing all of those things, we are able to work with you. But if you're saying you want to be in an incubation, then you are called for induction, you are called for meetings, you are not appearing, then it becomes a problem. So make sure that if you want to be part of our incubation, give us your details, then we take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are moving close to closing, but there is a lovely question here. Perhaps Ms. Fakute could address it. It's from Anonymous. It says, good morning. With the rapid growth of AI and cloud computing, there is increasing demand for data centers. Many rural areas near rivers also have strong solar potential and access to water, which could support sustainable micro data centers using river water for cooling. Does the NEF or Rand Water Foundation have funding mechanisms to support this kind of rural digital infrastructure?
Thank you for that question. Actually, we are for innovation. Anything that is breaking new ground is welcome. However, you need to be able to demonstrate commercial viability with your concept. So hence I was saying earlier, if it's a viable concept that could be explored further, we've got our strategic projects fund that can work closely with you. Hence I'm saying then you need to be able to demonstrate commercial viability. Then we can come together with Rand Water, especially if it's going to be creating jobs, it's commercially viable, breaking new ground, and barriers, especially barriers to entry where you find that Black people have never played in that space. So we always advocate for innovative ideas that will impact the economy and help our entrepreneurs, especially because we are for exclusive Black-owned businesses to play in the bigger space with the big boys in the market. So bring it on, as long as you know that it's an idea that has the potential to break new ground and create jobs, impact the economy, and fly high in the international market. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see two more questions. Some are outside of the discussion that we're having today, but maybe Mpumi, you can assist. It's good morning from Anonymous. I've recently purchased a plot of Northwest Daung, a plot of land, I guess, Northwest Daung, a tribal land, and I wonder if I can get funding to build a lodge and also rental units for teachers and nurses. I'm registered home builder with NHBRC. And there's another also unrelated to this. And it was asking about early childhood development. I'm just trying to find it, found it. I have a certificate in early childhood development, and I want to start a creche in my community to support working parents and early learning. Does the NEF fund businesses in the early childhood sector? And what process should one follow to apply?
Any business that shows commercial viability, NEF will fund. So your financials must talk to commercial viability. As Mrs. Majola indicated earlier, our funding is a loan and not a grant. So if in that rural area you know that the parents will bring their children and you will be able to service the loan, but otherwise you can go to other institutions. I know that there are foundations that are able to support such, because you don't have to gear yourself up with a loan only to find that you are unable to service it, or coming to the NEF, we decline you, and then you get disappointed and you say, I came with a good concept and they declined me. We only fund those that will be able to repay the loan. But there are institutions that are able to support with incentives or grant funding to ensure that initiatives of that sort are funded without any recourse in terms of repaying the loan. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fakute. There's a question here about, where people can apply or get information. There's an anonymous here that's saying, please share the email for incubator program. Ms. Majola, maybe you could talk to that. Thanks.
Thank you, Program Director. If you want to understand about our non-financial programs or you want to be part of them, you can write an email on info@nefcop.co.za. However, I think I'll ask our marketing team to add our details when they're posting our presentations on our social. They will add our details and our contact details, our emails and our contact details, so that at least you know who to speak to and which emails will you be using to get more information on what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Majola, and we'll certainly do that. I'm just trying to skim through to see if there are any other questions that we may have missed. There's a question from Kosi, K1 Waters. Many small businesses like ours struggle with requirements for audited or historical financial statements when applying, and small businesses don't have them. What alternative documents does the NEF accept for non-financial support programs? I think that's a good question.
Unfortunately for the NEF, when you apply, you need to have financials. And we also look at when your business started, because we cannot have audited financials when your business is just 2 years or a year. But from 3 years upwards, then that business has been around it. It must have audited financials. However, like I have said, we've got our training that will then assist you in making sure that you understand these financials, how to put them together as a small business so that you are able to then submit them when you want to apply for funding. So with this entrepreneurial training, they are able to help you package your business nicely and understand exactly what you need to submit within your business. And then once you have done that, there's also incubation where then you are hand-holded with all the information that is needed for you to go for funding. As the NEF starts from 250,000 to 75 million, if you need anything below that, the NEF will not assist you. But if you are are within our incubation partners, they will tell you exactly who then can assist you as a funder with the money that you're looking for. And if you are within our threshold, they will know exactly how to assist you as well to package your business and be able to bring it to the NEF with the information that is needed. Because with every business, regardless how small the business is, you do have sales. So when you have sales, you are able to put together your financials based on the sales that you are making in your business. So those are the things that they will be assisting you with so that you are able to put together your financials as an entrepreneur or a business owner. So we are there to assist as far as our non-financial support is concerned. Use the contacts that will be put on our socials so that we are able to then put together the information for you and assist you to get funding wherever you need it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Ms. Matola. I just want to give our speakers an opportunity to close off. If there are any comments that you would like to make then as we close off the session. I will just start then with the Rand Water, Mr. Pitikwe. If there's something you want to close off, maybe we've missed something that you'd like to add.
Let me first start saying that we are very excited about the partnership that we're having with the National Empowerment Fund. Like I said, you know, the idea here firstly is to start training our young businesses within our country. Right now, we're obviously going to start, within the area where we operate, which is in Gauteng. We have a long-standing relationship with the NEF, and we will definitely, in the next coming years, look at other provinces within South Africa where we want to extend this relationship that we have, and then also with the activities that we have in our country as well. Within Rand Water Foundation, we have activities that I presented earlier on, obviously within the community development initiatives that we're doing within our communities. With that one, we always advertise on our website when those activities are implemented. We obviously would look at NGOs, SMMEs that we can work with in terms of implementing those projects, within our communities. But many of the organizations that we work with in terms of implementing those activities are organizations that have gone through training where you would know exactly on how to run your business, on how to implement the project while working with us. And this is one of the things, obviously, that we want to do with NEF. We want to empower you so that when you are well empowered and then you are able to run your businesses, then you can run the activities of the projects that we have in our community. I saw one question here. I don't know whether it's a question from one of our participants. It says, are we automatically part of the training for attending, or we still need to apply? Colleagues, I think you still really need to apply. I don't know whether is it from Thibault's projects, but you really need to apply. Obviously, when you apply, there'll be certain requirements that are needed for you to apply, but just attending this session does not qualify you to be part of the training. Please, obviously, talk and get in contact with NEF, and then from there, then you will obviously be told what is it that is required from you. But like I said earlier on, we as Rand Water Foundation, together with NEF, are available to assist and help development of young people within our country, and we are ready and standing, to help you in whichever way that we can. So please talk to us. Tell us what are your ideas. Are they obviously viable in terms of commercialization and other things? We'll definitely look at those, and we'll definitely see how we are able to help you in this regard. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. As we've come to the end of today's session, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our speakers from Rand Water and the National Empowerment Fund for sharing their insights with us today. I'd also like to thank everyone who joined the webinar, especially the many young entrepreneurs and artisans who are exploring opportunities in the water and sanitation sector. So there was a question around whether this is only open to young people. No, it is open to all Black people. We will also just share the email address that you can use if you have any further questions. I know we didn't answer all of your questions, but just to go back, this partnership between the NEF and Rand Water Foundation is aimed at empowering entrepreneurs with the skills, support, and funding needed to grow sustainable businesses while contributing to job creation and economic participation within this important sector. Today's session marks the beginning of an important journey, and we encourage you to stay connected with both the NEF and Rand Water Foundation for future opportunities and programs. So on behalf of both organizations, thank you for joining us. And my name is Dikatso Matai, and it has been a pleasure serving as your program director. We wish you a wonderful day and an awesome weekend ahead. Thank you.